And Jeremy Rosenthal joining us, the founder of TexasDefenseFirm.com. Jeremy, thanks for coming on today.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Doing very, very well. We wanted to ask you some things about the current Donald Trump trial that's taking place in New York. Yesterday he came out and he said, I've been threatened with jail if I violate this gag order. The first question I have for you, is it unusual for a defendant to be under a gag order?
These happen. They happen a lot in racketeering cases. They happen a lot in some of your bigger federal cases. It's not unprecedented. I'll put it like that. I don't know that it's particularly common, but it's not unprecedented. Think of the trial judge like a referee of a basketball game. Their job is to get the game done, and they've got certain leverage to do that. And if that means keeping the players and the coaches kind of in line, they have the power to do that. You don't see it too much, but it's not the first of its kind.
Does it seem overly nitpicky, though?
I'll tell you this much. I think if the judge had to do this again, I don't think he would do it. I think that the judge has kind of found himself in a bit of a power struggle with the defendant, and I don't know that this judge has ever experienced that. And you've got sort of this brinksmanship here. I think the judge. So the order says, okay, Donald Trump, you've got a whole, it doesn't say this, but the theory behind it is you got a whole army of people, right? All these fish, piranha, whatever you want to call them, locusts, that if you spit out the name of a witness, or if you spit out the name of a juror, then right, all the piranha are going to go and gobble up the juror or the person or whoever, or maybe it's a court staff person. So the court order says, this is what the order does say. Okay, Donald Trump, you can criticize me, the judge. I'm an elected official. I'm a big kid and I can take it. You can criticize Alvin Bragg. You can talk about the trial. You can talk about the facts of the trial. What you can't talk about is any of the witnesses. You can't talk about any of the jurors and the people who work here, who make their living at the front desk, at the courthouse, all that stuff, if you wouldn't mind leaving them out. And if a witness attacks you, you can come after them. So anytime you're engaging in prior restraint, which is trying to limit somebody's speech, anytime you're doing that, you're kind of gonna be nitpicky and you're playing a real dangerous game. So that much I think is very true.
Jeremy Rosenthal, founder of TexasDefenseFirm.com. Jeremy, hang on just a moment. We have more for you, but we have to get an update on traffic and weather on the ones now. It's 7:21 with Monty Cook. Jeremy, President Trump said, I'll go to jail if I have to. How would they do that? If the judge said, yup, you violated your gag order, I said you go to jail, and now you're going to jail, they're clearly not going to take him to just Rikers Island or the Tombs.
I think what happens here, so I think a couple things. I think the judge understands that you've already got the circus factor through the roof, right? So I think the judge understands, look, if I throw this guy in the can, this trial goes super crazy, right? Let alone the fact that you might be giving this guy what he wants. But what you're looking at is the jurors in the case, right? They have not been sequestered. Every person in America is going to get a text alert or close to it if Trump goes to jail. And he runs the risk of having a mistrial if he puts him in jail, at least in the middle of the trial. What I've heard and listened to from people who know this judge, what they think is that he may dole out these fines, and then what he may do, because we're about at the halfway point at the end of the trial, while the jury's deliberating, he may throw Donald Trump in the tank then and say, all right, I'm going to hold all of these until the trial is over, and then win, lose, or draw, then I'm going to put you in. Now, it may be you've got in these courthouses, in these criminal courthouses, our courthouses are no different. Frank Crowley is no different. That just off to the side, there's a holding cell, and there are jailers, and there is a whole network that goes straight to the jail. Now you've got the Secret Service to consider. But I think that the judge may just say, all right, pal, you're going to go in timeout just in this other room here, and you can take your Secret Service friends with you. And I'm sure the Secret Service guys are going to look at Donald and be like, hey, thanks, man. Now I go to jail. Appreciate it, buddy. But yeah, I don't know how exactly that works, but it's a logistical nightmare. And yeah, it just pumps the circus factor through the ceiling.
Yeah, well, and we're there. Does the gag order violate his First Amendment rights?
Okay. So again, the trial judge has some ability to dictate what happens here. And this has been litigated. This has been a long standing rule. It has been around forever and ever that a judge can limit what you say when you are on bond in his court. Donald Trump appealed that. Whenever this gag order came out, he appealed it up the chain in New York State, and he lost that. Now, if he goes to jail, he will have a brand new, fresh appeal issue, and that's where, if this violates the First Amendment, that would be decided.
Should this judge have recused himself, having donated to the Biden campaign in 2020?
Unfortunately, nobody likes this aspect, right? In Texas, we elect our judges, and our judges they run party races, and we all kind of pretend that that's okay, that they're out there campaign fundraising, and that lawyers are donating, and that parties are potentially donating. So the court system just kind of operates on a bit of fiction. I would tell you this: if this judge recused himself, good luck finding somebody who hasn't, in New York State, who hasn't participated in Democratic Party politics, right? I mean, Dallas County, every one of our judges is a Democrat. Tarrant County, I think every one of our judges is a Republican. So you can't, I mean, there's just no winning or losing in that one. I mean, you could, well, you donated to Governor Abbott, or you donated to Ken Paxton, or you donated to Barack Obama. It's gonna be a wash. But again, we all just sort of close our eyes and close our ears and nanny. We're just gonna pretend like the judges aren't political, but they just are.
All right, Jeremy Rosenthal, he is the founder of TexasDefenseFirm.com. Jeremy, thank you so much. We appreciate the information.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.